Hello, my dear students. How are you today? Today, inshallah, we're going to start with chapter 1 in our story, Around the World in 80 Days. Yesterday, we talked about the story and we introduced the story. We talked about the characters and the setting of the story, and we said we have many places where the story takes place. And we also talked about the author of the story. Inshallah, today we're going to start with chapter 1. Before we start reading or learning about chapter 1, let's discuss or let's learn about the new vocabulary we can see throughout our reading in chapter 1. The first word or the first new vocabulary we have the word wager, and wager means an amount of money that you risk in order to win more money, or in another word it means a bet. Okay. Then we have the word mansion, and as you see in the picture, mansion means a very big and expensive house. Then we have the word butler, and butler means it's a servant, or if you have more than one servant in the house, butler means the most important servant who is responsible for organizing the other servants. But actually in our story we have only one butler who is prim5, and he is responsible or he is serving prim5, our main character. We have the word fire, and it's a verb, and fire means to remove someone from the job because he did something wrong or he acted badly. Then we have the word tightrope walker, and tightrope walker is a person who walks on a wire or a rope in order to entertain other people. And usually you can watch the tightrope walkers in a circus or on a show or a TV show or something. And in our story, we called prim5, the butler of prim5, that he used to work as a tightrope walker before being a butler. After that, we have the word detective. Detective means someone whose job is to discover information about a crime or a murder or a robbery. Okay, and he tries to find out who is responsible for these crimes. We have the word promptness, and the promptness means an action of doing something very quickly and without any delay. And promptness, this is one of the requirements that prim5 needs in his new butler, as we are going to read in the story that prim5 hired prim5, his new butler, and he is seeking for promptness in his new butler. Then we have the word chide, and chide, it's a verb, and it means to make fun of someone. When someone say bad words that means to make fun of someone, that means he chided. Okay, let's start with page 12, chapter 1. And chapter 1 with the title of The Wager, and as we introduce the word wager, it's a bet or an amount of money that you risk in order to win more money according to an agreement between you and someone else. Okay, please, before we start reading, prepare your sticky notes and your highlighters or your pencils. The sticky notes, we're going to write some questions that can summarize the page we're going to read. Okay? Prepare your sticky note and please write down. Number 1, what was the name of Foggy's club? Describe Phyllis Fogg. Number 3, what was Foggy's hobby or what was his daily routine? These questions, we're going to read about them or about the answers of them on page 12 in chapter 1. In 1872, in the city of London, many prominent gentlemen gathered at the Reform Club. One of the gentlemen was Phyllis Fogg. Many prominent gentlemen, and prominent means famous gentlemen. They gathered all together in the Reform Club. Fogg used to go to the Reform Club. Please underline the word at the Reform Club because this is the answer of question 1. Let's go on. Fogg was a handsome man with a silver beard. Please underline this line too because it looks like a description of Phyllis Fogg. He was a handsome. Handsome means a beautiful or a pretty, but pretty for girls and handsome for men or for boys. Okay, if I want to say a good-looking guy or a good-looking man, I can say a handsome man. Let's go on. Although he was well known around the club, people knew very little about Foggy's private life. Please start underlining the last 2 lines. His only daily activities were reading newspapers and playing a card game called whist. So the last 2 lines are the answer of question number 3 we have. It's what Fogg used to do during his day, or this is his hobby, or this is what he used to do. Now move to page 13. Page 13. Also, we have some questions to read about them. Number 1, why did Fogg fire his old butler? Number 2, what were Foggy's new butler requirements? Let's start reading, and as we're reading, try to find the answer for these questions. Phyllis Fogg lived alone in a mansion, and a mansion, we said before that it's a very big house, a big and expensive house. He employed a single butler. The only requirement of Foggy's butler was perfect promptness and regularity in his work. In fact, on October 2nd, Fogg fired his current butler because he had brought him his shaving water at 84 degrees Fahrenheit rather than 86. Please underline number 2, the lines number 2, because this is the answer of question number 1. Why did Fogg fire his old butler? He fired his old butler because he had brought him his shaving water at 84 degrees Fahrenheit rather than 86. This shows that Fogg is a very organized person and a very neat person, and he needs a butler or who can be a very regular person. Let's go on. On this late morning, Fogg was waiting for a new butler to arrive between 11 and half past. Okay, so question number 2 also we can answer this question. What were Foggy's new butler requirements? his requirements, or his only requirement of the new butler is to be perfect in his times, or to have promptness and regularity in his work. Now let's move to page 14. Okay, in your sticky notes, please write down these two questions. Number 1, who was Jean Passepartout? Number 2, what was Passepartout used to work before he came to England? Let's start reading, and please follow. Mr. Fox sat perfectly still in his chair as there was a knock at the door. A man entered and introduced himself as Jean Passepartout. Now please underline or highlight this part because this is very important. Now line number 1, as you see here, there are small numbers. We're going to underline them. He was a Frenchman from Paris. So who was Jean Passepartout? He is a Frenchman, and he is Foggy's new friend. He's Foggy's new butler, and he comes from Paris. Let's go on reading. He had been a singer, a horse rider, a tightrope walker in a circus. Please underline all of these. For 5 years ago, he had come to England to seek a quiet life as a butler. So he come to England to seek for a quiet life. As we said, he used to work many interesting jobs. He used to be a singer, a horse rider, and a tightrope walker. And a while ago we talked about tightrope walker means someone who walks on a rope or a fixed wire to entertain other people in a circus or on a TV show, whatever. So he used to work many interesting jobs, and he came to England to have a quiet life as a butler. So number 2, what was Passepartout used to work before he came to England? He used to be a singer, a horse rider, and a tightrope walker in a circus. Let's go on reading. Mr. Passepartout, said Phileas Fogg. Phileas Fogg is talking to Passepartout. Do you know that I require my butler to always be on time? As we said before, that Phileas Fogg is a very organized person, a very neat person, and his requirement in his new butler to be organized also and to be neat. So he's asking him or he's telling Jean Passepartout that I need someone to be on time all the time. Now move to page 15. As you see here, this is Passepartout in the picture, and he's at Foggy's house. In your sticky notes, please write down number 1. How was Foggy's house when Passepartout came? Number 2. What did Passepartout find just after Fogg left the house? Let's start reading and highlight the answer of these questions, or highlight the most important words. Yes, monsieur, and monsieur, this means, in English means Mr. or sir. Yes, monsieur, Passepartout replied. Very well then, from this moment you are my new butler. That means Phileas Fogg agreed, or he hired a new butler who is Passepartout. Let's go on. Then Phileas Fogg left without a word. That's all what he said to Passepartout. Passepartout inspected the house. Inspected means he searched all around the house, or he wandered all around the house. Passepartout inspected the house. Please underline it. It was perfectly clean and orderly. He found a card describing his daily duties. This part shows that although Fogg didn't have a butler, as we said that he fired his old butler, but although he didn't have a butler, his house kept clean and ordered and organized. That shows that he is a very organized person. And also, what did Passepartout find? He found a card describing his daily duties. The list explained everything he must do from the time Mr. Fogg woke up at 8 until he went to bed at midnight. So we have these two questions. Let's answer them again. How was Fogg's house when Passepartout came? The answer of this question will be this part. It was perfectly clean and orderly. Number 2. What did Passepartout find just after Fogg left the house? He found a card describing his daily duties. Daily duties, it means a description of what he's going to do, his work, what he has to do from the time of Fogg is waking up till he is going to sleep. We're going to stop to this part, page 15. Please read this part again and answer page 121 in your booklet. Before you start answering the questions, I need you to read the summarize on the same page, page 121. You have a summarize of the chapter. Please read it and read page 12 to 15 and start answering the questions. Thank you, and inshallah next time we're going to complete the rest of the chapter. Thank you and see you inshallah next time.